Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Hey, welcome to another broadcast. Today is Friday, May the 30th. One more day, we're in June, y'all. It's moving. Hope you guys had a great week. Challenging week that where you survived on the other side of it. That's great, because you ain't dead. And, it's a good day. Another good day. All right, we got another one for you today. We're just continuing our conversation on, this whole clarion call that we're making for people to begin to prioritize your health and your wellness, particularly starting with your brain. And we're going to be looking at some more stuff today. All right, we're going to give it about another 40, 45 seconds, and then we'll start, okay? We're going to give people time to get on. All right, good to see our family over in London. Good to see you. And everybody else that's in the chat, too, that's coming in. All right. I think we're going to go ahead and, I think we're going to go ahead and get started. Well, again, thank you so much again for joining us today and on this another broadcast. And as I said earlier, I hope you're having a wonderful day. We're going to go ahead and get started here. Make sure, again, if you haven't done so already, make sure you check out our website, which is sambatree.com. Again, it's sambatree.com for all your health and wellness needs. Make sure you head on over there. We got some brand new things we're going to be releasing very soon. So when you go over there, make sure you go to our website, or rather specifically go to put your email in there. Put your email in there so that you could be on the email list. So as we're releasing new things and all of that, you will be one of the first to know. All right. So again, the website is sambatree.com. Okay, so today we're going to get into something. We're going to do a little bit of history, just a little bit of history, right? And then we're going to get fast forward to today. So if you didn't take the time to look at the description of this video, we're going to look at something that happened going back all the way to the days of Michael Brown, during those days where, police cameras, you didn't have too many police departments that had them, but it was on the upswing, right? But it wasn't on the massive scale that you have today. And so now most police departments in the United States do have police cameras. And we could thank in part largely to black folks. Black Americans are the ones that spearheaded the need for police officers to have cameras on them to make sure that they are capturing, all these interactions that they're having with people in the community, regardless, right? Because there were a lot of calls regarding claims regarding police brutality. Every time if it's a police officer, particularly a white police officer that has to have any interaction with black folks, then it's usually racism involved, right? And so you had different organizations who stepped up, and particularly, like I said, a lot of black organizations that stepped up and said, hey, we need to have these police officers need to have some police cameras. Now, I'm being honest with you, my personal opinion on that, I think that was a great idea to have that, because we do need to know the truth. For those that are paid to enforce the law of our city, state, and nation, There needs to be a heightened level of accountability and transparency. So I totally agree with that. I don't have any problems at all with officers having cameras, especially in today's world where, it just, you need to. I mean, when in United States, well, I'll just say here, it's not uncommon now for nowadays for people to have cameras on their doorbells, cameras on your front doors or whatever. Everybody's pretty much camered up. And that's why I just like when, we have like this, that Nextdoor app. If you ever get on that, depending on where you live, it's an app where, depending on your community, people get on there and they kind of tell, give each other heads up on what's going on in the community and all of that. And, I mean, people are all the time uploading little clips of videos that their little cameras have captured of nefarious looking people that's walking in the community. And so I see that all the time. And I'm like, man, these people that still, try to do this stuff, to people's houses and stuff. I'm like, you do know there's a high probability you're on camera these days. I mean, it's just stupid at this point for people to do that, but people do it anyway. And I mean, we just had something that happened here recently, not us, but, some nearby neighbors. And there's, these kids, they do we used to call ring doorbells and run. That's what we used to call, but now it's some other name for it. But now these kids, they're like kicking doors. You heard of that story, that recent story where a group of kids did this. I think it was in Virginia. And, the guy that lived there was black. This was like 3 a.m. And they said they're doing some TikTok challenge where they're basically going to houses in the wee hours of the morning and kicking on doors and running off or whatever. Well, like I said all the time, listen, you could do that if you want, but at some point you're going to run into the wrong person. All right. And I'm happy to say that sometimes I qualify for that because I don't know what I would do. Not at that time of the morning I would. I mean, I'm just going to be honest. Because I don't know what to think. I remember, well, I ain't going to share that story, but basically somebody came to our house and they did not alert us that they were coming. And all I see at the corner of my eye is somebody just walking by. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, my family's here and all of that. I don't know who this is, right? And it wasn't until I found out later, I was like, oh, okay, all right. But, in this day and time now, I mean, you can't play around. There was another story that I just heard recently, same thing. Some kids knocking on someone's door or whatever, and kiki and ha-ha and all that stuff. And they got shot. So this is the world we live in right now, and you just can't play around. You can't. You also have to be aware too that even the people around us, even the people that may be that are watching this video right now, we assume that everybody on YouTube is mentally or on the up and up, but a lot of people, more and more, I told you this is going to become more and more of an issue. Thanks in part to that event that happened a few years ago that we are not allowed to talk about. But there's other contributing factors too that have been going on much longer than that we do need to address, which we are doing here. But you're going to see more and more of this. People that you think are mentally okay, all it takes is just the right amount of, in the words of Joker, just a little push, and that's it. And they'll just go off completely. And so there are a lot of people around us today that are like that. And so you have to start keeping that in mind and making sure that you ain't one of them. You know what I'm saying? So, so what we're going to do is let me share with you. Let me go here first. Because one of the things I talked about was how the importance of separating yourself from people who got issues. Go back to the other videos where we talked about that in detail as to why that's important. I mean, I did a whole document on it, everything. But why it's so important for you to separate yourself. We even gave examples within the animal kingdom and the insect kingdom where even those, different groups, they have a set of standards that they abide by on how the beehive is supposed to act, how each worker bee is supposed to act. Like, for example, in bee culture, there's, the only person that's supposed to be laying eggs is the queen. But sometimes you'll get a worker bee that will say, nah, shoot, I'm going to have some babies too. And so what happens is that as soon as the other bees find out about it, they take that bee and drag its behind outside and they kill it. Because they said, no, there's a standard that we have here. You can't do that. And then we also looked at animals too, the same thing. There's a standard. You cannot do that. So there's a point where they all work together at the end of the day. When we're talking about as culture, when we're talking about different cultures, and it doesn't matter if they're black folks, white folks, Asian folks, it doesn't matter. Inside our minds, instinctively, it's an instinctive trait that we have. If I'm a black person and I see another black person being harmed, my instinct would be to go and try to defend that person, right? That would be my natural instinct. Based on what? Based on me looking at them and seeing, hey, they're black just like me, right? So, but what we have done in these last videos is saying that there has to be a reprogramming that takes place, because now you have to start using your mind to start reanalyzing and recategorizing people, not necessarily based on race, but based on the set values that you have set for yourself. Do you understand? Because I've already made that clear. I'm not laying myself down for anybody who's a thug, thief, whatever. I don't care what color they are. But what you'll find is, like, for example, in the case of what was his name, Carmelo Anthony, this is a guy that murdered somebody, and people just stacked up and raised over $500,000 to defend this dude. Meanwhile, we went on the same platform, Give, Send, Go, and I identified at least 10 different people. They were not criminals, but in fact, they were shot by criminals. And not only were they shot by criminals, all these people that I went through were black folks. And they posted on Give, Send, Go. They said, hey, I just need a couple $1,000s to get through this operation. And they will get only 10% of that. But on the other hand, you got this person who committed this crime. All of a sudden, we got to become Ultraman, or not Ultraman. We got to become Voltron. And so we've been looking at that closely and asking, why is that? What's contributing to that, right? So anyway, I think this is a good way to start. And then we're going to get into a lot of clips that I'm going to show you. All right. There's a lot of clips I'm going to show you in this broadcast here. So let me go to this post here. Let me show you this one. All right. So this is what I posted last night. I woke up. I was like, man, was I half asleep when I wrote this? Because it was a line I had to take out. It was just redundant. But anyway, let me read this to you. It's something I wrote here. Now, this is pertaining a story that came out of South Africa. This is a South African woman who had a beautiful daughter, and you see her down here. And she decided to sell her daughter to a witch doctor because she knew that the eyes and her skin, and if you're looking at the picture now, you can see girl's, very light skin, and she has blue, or I don't know, hazel eyes or whatever. And it says mom sold her daughter, who's 6 years old, so her eyes and skin could be cut out and used for medicine. All right. So that's African spirituality. All right. But trust me, I know it sounds first like, man, you all over the place. Trust me. It's all going to be related. Okay. Because you'll see. And I said this, is my comment towards this story here. I said, when I measure Christianity, I measure all of those who claim any part of the Bible as their foundation as Christians. That includes the KKK, the Masons, Baptists, Catholics, Hebrews, whatever. All of these groups that I just mentioned to you, they all use the Bible as their foundation. So when I measure them, I look at them all the same. Because, I mean, why not? You're using the Bible as your foundation. You know, if I'm talking about a Christian and I'm talking about someone that's a KKK, they may differ in their interpretations of the Bible, but nonetheless, they use the foundational document of Christianity, which is the Bible. So when I judge them, I go to your source. I go to your foundation, right? And there it is. That's what I do. So then I said, when I measure African spirituality, I measure the same exact way. The same people who are quick to remind us every 5 minutes that Africa isn't a country, but a continent, have no problems lumping all their various religions under African spirituality. Isn't that interesting? African spirituality apparently needed light skin and blue eyes for it to work in this particular case. And this mother was ready to give up her own daughter for it. We can also talk about the ritual attacks of bald-headed men in Mozambique because it was believed that they had gold in their heads. I don't know if you heard of that story, but in Mozambique, people who had hair, the absence of hair like I have on my head, they were being hunted down because they would believe that we have gold in our heads. Well, I'm gonna keep my gold. All right, so watch it. Okay. Okay. And then I put a link there, and then I said, or how about the ritual killings of people with albinism in places like Malawi? All right, same thing. They believe that. So these different things, those are just two different things. Are they extreme cases? Yeah, absolutely. But they all claim to be under the big top of African spirituality. Remember, it's Africans that call it that. I don't call it that. They call it African spirituality. So they lump it all together. They lump all of that together, be it a witch doctor or someone who's a storyteller, whatever. They lump it all together under the big top of African spirituality. As an individual, am I aware that different cultures have their different unique religions stuff? Absolutely. I'm completely aware of that. However, it's our people of the continent that refer to all of that as African spirituality. They lump it together. All right. And I said, the way I see it, Christianity, African spirituality, Islam, Judaism, etc., always will point to their so-called model practitioners as the face of their belief system. But they can't stop the fact that right within their own ranks, there are those who interpret things a little differently. And given the right circumstances, this is the important part, they will defend each other. What am I talking about? Let me give you an example. So let's give an example of, let's talk about Christians versus Hebrews, right? You will have Hebrews that will get online all day and all night. We'll talk about how Christians are misled, they're misguided, they're misinterpreting the Bible, they're leading you to hell, they're part of the system. Hold on. And they'll tell you all this stuff and how bad and how off and misguided Christians are, right? There are countless numbers of videos on that. They're not using the name of the Most High like they're supposed to. We don't say Jesus. We say Yeshua, or we say Yeshua HaMashiach, which y'all got that from Jews. But anyway, but they will have no problem at all making it very clear to the world that that is not us. But you and I both know, give it one pastor, especially if it's a white one. If he gets up here and says, "Oh, I had a revelation. You know what, church? I believe that the one that we call Jesus is black." And out of the woodwork, you're going to find Hebrews coming all over the place. See, I knew it. He's invited to the Shabbat, not the cookout, the Shabbat meal. He's invited. Now, all of a sudden, he family now. Now, all of a sudden, he family now because he's confirming your own interpretations, basically your own biases. So now, all of a sudden, he's family now. See what I'm talking about? All of a sudden, they all on point. And I can say the same thing about Christians, for example. You have Christians that will make it very clear that they have nothing to do with the Pope. We ain't got nothing to do with the Catholic Church. How dare you even compare us to them? Even though historically it was the Catholic Church that gave you a Bible. But anyway, how dare you compare us to them? But then have a pro-life march. And then on the stage, you're going to see Baptists, Presbyterians, Church of God in Christ folk, maybe. And you're going to see some Catholic priests up there. All of a sudden, you see what God is doing? He is bringing us all together. He is bringing all of us together. And he's bringing all of us, he's linking all of us together. We're one big family. You see what he's doing. Oh, hallelujah. I knew it. The day was going to come. He was going to bring all of us together. Now, all of a sudden, there's no distinction now, is there? And we can go down the list. And I'm sure you'll see examples after examples of this in African spirituality. Same thing. How dare you talk about this branch of, how we practice here? Don't you know this is African spirituality? You West people don't know what you're talking about. It becomes all of that now. So given the right set of circumstances, people, you can, on one hand, these religions will pretend, many of the members will pretend that they are way up in the heavenlies somewhere, and we're the model folks. And no, we don't agree with that at all. Of course not. You cannot align me with the KKK. Are you kidding me? But when you step back and realize that the KKK uses the same manual as the Church of God in Christ, they use the same Bible. How are we going to sit up there and say that they're not on the same team? They may disagree on things, but they believe in the same Jesus. One may believe that Jesus is black. The other may believe that Jesus is white. It doesn't matter. They believe in Jesus. It doesn't matter. Now, what in the world does this have to do with what we're talking about today? Well, let me tell you. When we get into culture, it's the same thing. As we're talking about this, as I'm going to be showing you these videos, it's going to be very easy for many of you to sit back and to say, those ain't our people. Those, no. See, why are you trying to build a case based on those people there? Because those are hood rats. Those are ghetto people, no, we ain't have nothing to do with them at all. No, not at all. Those are a bunch of bad examples you're showing us. You're just focusing on the negative. How about focus on the positive? But see, here's the problem with that. You and I both know if one of these people were to be mistreated by someone that's white, good and doggone well that black folks will be coming all over the planet to unite and say, we got to defend this person. Black folks do that. But never mind all the other time. Rodney King, for example. Rodney King, black folks lined up. Now, what happened to him in regards to he was beaten by these police officers? Of course that was wrong. Of course, it was just bad and evil and wicked. Of course. And black folks lined up and said, no, we got to do something about this. Unfortunately, it included burning down your own businesses and your own community. But never mind that. We're just talking about having a voice and saying, no, we cannot tolerate this kind of behavior from police departments. OK, I think any sensible person can agree with that. Right. But where is that same energy for after that happened, where this man the cops were still coming to his house regularly for domestic abuse. Where was that energy? Where's that same energy? Oh, well, that's different. Oh, that's different, man. It's different. Domestic abuse. And I think it was his wife or girlfriend or something like that. They were going to his house regularly for that. No, but that's different. We don't really care. Do you see what I'm saying? There's something in the brains of folks to have these different outrages based on the situation. Do you understand what I'm saying? So on one hand, we can distance ourselves and say, oh no, those are thugs. We ain't got nothing to do with that. But given the right set of circumstances, you will align yourself with a thug. Let me tell you something as it pertains to me. I was looking this up, and I can show you, but I just want to make it short. How many have heard this thing? It's called karma, right? You could believe it or not or whatever. I'm not necessarily saying it's true or not, but there have been many studies that basically show that, and I think we can all agree with this, where a person is, if you heard people say something like this, you are what you are today, your decisions, the decisions that you've chosen to make in life, right? So for example, if you're an individual that on a regular basis, you make bad decisions over and over and over again, you always hang around the bad crowd, and the bad crowd is just, you just always around, that's always around you all the time. Every time somebody comes to your house, there's police there, or somebody screaming, somebody yelling, or somebody fighting, and they need money and all this other stuff. There's just stuff that just happens all the time. You just always make those decisions over and over again, right? And then let's say one time, there is a person, that same person they're driving, and all of a sudden they get pulled over by a white cop, calls them nigger and all that stuff. And then all of a sudden now, I feel obligated that we got to come together as a family and we got to defend this person. And a lot of people will do that. But what I'm telling you is, hell no, I ain't doing that. No. Oh, Dwayne, what are you trying to say? You're not, what do you mean? You got to defend against that. Well, was this joker listening to me all them other times when he was beating up his wife and beating up his children and all this other stuff? No. If he ain't listening to me for that, you keep doing stuff over and over again, it's going to come back on you. Whatever decisions you make, if on a flip, if you're a person that is always striving to do better, to go higher and all of that, then it's going to reflect based on the people that you surround yourself with and the things that happen in your life. That's typically how it works. This life that we're in. That's typically how it works. But I'm not going to drop everything to defend somebody in a situation like that, especially if they have a series of bad decisions that they've made over and over again. At some point, the streets are going to be the streets. I'm not going to defend that. No, you on your own. That's how I think. I don't feel like I have to put on a cape for people who have a lifelong history of doing bad things. And then when something bad happens to them, now all of a sudden I got to put on the cape and save them. No, I'm sorry it happened to you, but history has already shown me I still don't need to have anything at all to do with you. And, hopefully it'll work out for you, but that's it. But a lot of folks, they don't think that way. Yeah, RJ McKenzie said, you reap what you sow. I mean, ultimately, that's the case. So let's get to these videos here. So we're going to go through this history here. It was a time when black folks were, like I said, making the case that we need these police officers, they need to have body cams. And so after much pressure and all of that, it happened. So let me show you just a few videos, just going back in history. NAACP in this video here, they are making demand for the local police to start wearing body cams. And let's just play this just to refresh people's memories.
And shot and killed by Trotwood police join the NAACP in calling for more body cameras and police accountability. 2 News reporter Caroline Morse is live in the studio tonight to explain the NAACP's message to the county.
25-year-old Andrew Hogan was shot and killed by Trotwood police Friday night. Now, according to police, he was identified as a suspect in a shoplifting incident, assaulted police when approached, and was ultimately shot when he exited his apartment with a knife in hand. Now, the NAACP is demanding all police officers in Montgomery County wear body cameras.
You may have to delay some projects that you want to implement inside of your law enforcement department. Body cams is a must.
Less than a year after their 8-point strategy police reform group started in Dayton, the NAACP demands all officers must wear body cameras at all times. Advocates say body cameras not only provide accountability, but protects officers by offering another surveillance tool. Now, they say Hogan's family and local police departments not only need answers, but also need to establish trust so unanswered deaths don't happen again.
My hope is that I will not be speaking to the media again about loss of life in Montgomery County with no video footage in terms of body cams.
Okay, so there you go. Now this is South
Is
Carolina.
not as reliable.
Members of the South Carolina Legislative Black Caucus met Tuesday morning to talk about changes and accountability within law enforcement. Accountability through the usage of body cameras.
But every once in a while, we have something that happens that brings it to our attention. We got to end up making certain that society changes, and we have to end up changing.
Passing a bill of this magnitude would increase transparency for law enforcement that could improve the relationship between the police and the people they serve.
The SC Black Caucus says they are looking to other states as examples on how South Carolina can get moving with body cams. There are currently 30 states considering body camera legislation. Pennsylvania, Vermont, and Oklahoma already have those laws placed.
Okay, it goes on. So that video over here, that last one, that was about 10 years ago. Okay, so as you can see, I mean, this is rapidly becoming the norm, and so it became. Then you had Black Democrats that were pushing a legislation, for that. And then Obama, when he was in office, he set aside millions of dollars for police departments all across the country to begin implementing requiring officers to wear body cams. And as I said earlier, hey, I'm in total agreement with that. I think the more cameras, the better, just to capture all of that when you're having to interact with people. But so they've done that. So now when we step back and we look at the results of that, I find it very interesting. When I go here on YouTube, for example, you will find many channels. I mean, there are many channels here right on YouTube that show that footage. Because, see, the assumption was there's always something these people are hiding. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and say that cops are all good and they don't do anything nefarious or anything like that. Please, I'm not saying that at all. It does happen, and it does happen a lot. But fortunately, there are plenty of checks and balances that ultimately catch up to departments that flow in that arena. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it does happen. But for the most part, they have an open platform or platforms on social media platforms like what you're on right now, where they're like, here's the video footage that you wanted us to show you. Here it is. We're recording it. And as I'm looking through this, I noticed a lot of things. And I posted about that on the post previous to the one that I just read to you. And what I noticed is a couple of things. The top, I would say, on the list is that when I go through the comments and I'm reading the comments, you can kind of tell who's who. Overwhelming majority of people leaving comments are not black folks. And you rarely see, the only time you see these videos, the content of these videos actually being discussed is when it involves an officer crossing the line. That's the only time you'll see these videos being discussed. But there are thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of these videos on here. And you would think that a group that made such a demand for this type of content to be made open, you would think that this will be something that will be talked about on the regular, don't you? But the truth is, it isn't. So we're going to actually take a look at these videos. Now, I will tell you this. When I go through these channels, because I spent like maybe the last month really immersing myself in a lot of that content. And, you know, based on the stuff I've seen is this. Who are the people that are on most of these interactions? I would say top of that list would be black women. Next would be white women. There's a lot of white women on here too. Then I would say black men and then white men. If I had to put it in an order, I would say that. Where it's a lot of this, it's crazy. It's a bunch of craziness that you see out here. And I tell you, it's something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play some of these clips here because I want you to see for yourself. You know, hey, we asked for it. Why not look at it? If it's something that makes you uncomfortable, I understand that. But, you know, again, black folks demanded for this type of content. And I think it's only right that we take a look at it and then we're going to circle back and discuss it from there. OK, so what I'm going to do now, let me pull up one for you. And these are just some random ones that I lined up for you. And some I will be skipping through. We're not going to play the whole thing, but I want you to take note. I want you to really pay attention and take note of what's happening in some of these videos here. OK, not in any particular order at all. I'm just going to play some. All right. And then occasionally I may stop and point out a few things. But here we go. All right. But there is a reason why I'm showing this. I'm not just showing this. It's like entertainment or anything like that. I'm showing this because we do need to watch some of this. All right. So here's one here. And let me get it up on the screen. And let's take a look.
So do what you gotta do. Come on. Do what you gotta do. Come on.
A drunk Karen was denied by Spirit Airlines and immediately caused a scene so chaotic that the police had to step in.
We're not hurt. We're not hurt yet. I don't have the money. Exactly. But I'm telling you as an officer.
When Spirit Airlines said no, she heard it as a declaration of war, and the result was the police escorting her out the door. She came to the airport to fly, but ended up grounded for refusing to accept reality.
I don't have the money. Exactly, but I'm telling you.
What's going on? What happened?
I want to know what's going on. I had a flight for Raleigh Airport.
Just say we're on the 22. 41.
I got a Raleigh Airport ticket to Raleigh Airport to Connecticut.
Yeah.
Well, from Miami to Raleigh Airport for 10-something today, the 15th. I'm willing to travel that flight. Yeah, I've been drinking a little bit, but I still want to travel home.
Yeah.
I want to make it home.
Okay.
So what does that have to do with her travel, making me a flight?
All right, but you got to understand, the delivery right now is kind of rough.
But it's not rough. I've been asking her nicely.
Listen.
Even before I spoke to her, I spoke to another person.
You're not letting me talk to you.
I am.
I understand that. Remember, end of the day, it's spirit.
Yeah, it
spirit
is.
allows if they want you to fly or not. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You are.
1, 2 drinks.
3 drinks
That's
you put
it.
it out of your finger right there.
But I'm not.
But
I'm not overreacting. I'm not being mean to her.
Listen.
Now, let me just, because like I said, I'm not going to drag it along too much here, but let me just explain something to you. Basically, Spirit Airlines, they decided that, you know, hey, listen, you're being a bit unruly, and basically you're making our rest of our customers feeling very uncomfortable. So, no, you cannot get on this flight. Now, like any other business, they have every right to do that. Okay, it wasn't based on race or anything like that, but it was based on the fact that she is hindering their ability to conduct business. And so any business has the ability, it's called right of refusal. They can do that. But we have this whole spirit of entitlement. That's the only way I can describe it. That's emerging at such a rapid pace right now in society where people like, I don't care. No, you're going to serve me. So Spirit Airlines said, no, you cannot get on the plane. So as the law enforcer in this particular case here, he's coming in to enforce the law and say, no, you need to remove yourself. And so this video goes on and on and on, where this woman, the officer is being way over nice, trying to tell her, hey, no, you got to chill. You got to get out of here. And she will not do it. All right, let's continue.
Wouldn't you be nice enough to give me a hotel room?
Candace, you're not getting a hotel room.
But I'm just saying, why wouldn't you give me a hotel room if I'm not fit to travel? Stop it, officer. If you know.
You see how she talking to the officer? You see, and you're going to see this all the time. It's like they feel like they can talk to the officer in any kind of way. You can't do that and think it's going to go well for you.
I'm not eligible to fucking fly.
Candace.
Would I relax?
All right, come on, Candace.
All right, whatever.
Offered a refund, she still refused to leave, forcing police for leave now or be arrested.
I understand how I spend my $200 and something dollars, but I'm just saying, if I spend my $200 and something dollars, but I'm just saying, if it was you, and you spend your $200 and something dollars, they're not giving, if I'm not giving you $200, officer.
Come sit down.
If you give it, all right, I'm gonna report you.
All right, no worries.
If you're giving me the time to sit down and relax, and I know that I'm saucy, why wouldn't you give me the time to sit in a hotel?
He's not getting that money. Call yourself an Uber. Call yourself an Uber, get yourself a hotel.
I don't have the money.
Then Candace, you've been drinking. They're not gonna allow you to fly.
Exactly, but I'm telling you as an officer that I've been drinking and that I need some report.
I'm just skipping.
You're really taking me out of the airport.
So instead of her just getting up and leaving, she ends up getting arrested because they're trying to tell her, hey, listen, they try to offer her refund. I don't know if she took it or not. And then they said, okay, you need to leave. She didn't want to leave. She didn't want to do that. And it ended up like it ended up, arrested. And you're going to see this common thread of very simple interactions get flared up into something where now all of a sudden they find themselves going to prison. Hey, let me stop for a second. Joseph Ford just became a member. Thank you so much and welcome to the family, bro. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Make sure you get access, if you join our Threema group, you can or just message me somehow, whatever, then you get access to well over 200 books, all free. That you can download and use for your own research and all of that, amongst other things as well. But when you join our Threema group, it gives you access to all of that conversations and stuff that we have beyond what we do here on YouTube. So again, welcome and thank you. All right, let's go to this next video here. I told you I'm not going to play all of them in its length. Some of them I might, but just enough for you to get the point. Let's move on to the next one. This one was interesting too.
See, hallelujah, that vengeance is yours.
I'm not going to tell you again.
Going to jail.
I'm asking you to put your hands behind your back.
I'm not going to jail.
Put your hands behind your back.
Miss Brittany,
stop.
You're not going to with me. Oh, yeah, I'm very smart.
Okay.
So, baby, we're going to get...
On December 12th, 2023, a woman was stopped in Bell, Florida, for speeding in a school zone. She displayed a confrontational attitude, but the officer intended to let her off with a warning.
Brittany, is that your correct address? Okay. Is yes or no question. It's called a closed-ended question. Yes or no?
Obviously it is.
I don't know if it is because sometimes people don't change their addresses.
Run them and see.
I don't know why you have to act this way.
Run them and see.
I was simply coming over to tell you to slow down. Okay?
Whatever you need to do, run it and see.
Miss Brittany, was give you a written warning or a verbal warning. Okay? And that's what I did. All I wanted to tell you was
37.
To slow down.
When you want to find your child, go find one of them kids because I'm 37.
I already have a child.
Thank you.
And by the way, you gave me the wrong registration. Yes, it says for a Chevrolet. But I didn't give you a ticket for that.
So who gave you authority over me? I don't know, but I'm 37.
I don't know, but I'm 57, so I'm about 20 years older than...
And it don't matter.
Now, you see how this woman just going on. The cop literally said, I was just going to give you a warning. I was going to give you a warning and let you go. That typically doesn't happen in a school zone. Most school zones, if you caught speeding, that's an automatic ticket. I get on my kids, on my older children all the time. I'm like, y'all better slow it down. you better slow it down, because cops most of the time in school zones, they don't play. It goes straight to ticket. But in this case here, this woman, she was speeding in the school zone, and the woman was like, hey, I was just going to give you a warning and tell you to slow down. That's it. But listen to how this woman is acting. I want you to pay attention to this.
I'm not your child.
You possibly could be my child.
I'm not your child.
Okay.
I'm a grown woman. That's what that means.
Right, and so am
you're
I.
not going to treat me like a grown
You're speeding in the school zone.
Yeah.
I could be
and that's fine.
And
I pulled over and I gave you my registration and my license, and that's
giving
fine.
you like a $400
what you do.
Okay. I understand how you feel, but I did not give you a speeding ticket for $400 or $500. Now, did I? No, I did not. So,
and the registration.
All I said was written warning. There you go. Try to have a better demeanor. I don't need it.
I don't have to have nothing.
We're done with the traffic stuff.
I didn't think so.
Be careful when you're backing out. I know you're grown, Brittany.
Brittany displayed irritation and uncooperativeness from the start. When asked about the address on her license, she responded with sarcasm and impatience. She then handed over the wrong vehicle registration, and despite leniency, her attitude remained defiant.
Don't speed through here because you're going to get a ticket.
37. Remember that.
Ma'am, I don't care how old you are, okay?
You ain't going to tell me what to do with nobody else name.
If it's the law, then yes, the law is going to tell you what to do.
That's what you can do. That's the only thing you can do.
Do you have issues that I need to be aware of?
37.
Do you have issues that I need to be aware of?
Issues?
I'm asking you.
You have issues?
No, she's good. She just has. Oh, you know what? I forgot. You maybe if you want to continue the stop with inoperable equipment on your vehicle, so that could have been the third.
So while she's running her mouth, like Teen Troop pointed out, you're now blocking traffic and arguing with police. You're blocking traffic to argue with police. How do you think this is going to end? Over a ticket that they were just going to give her a warning. So it went from just a warning, but I want you to continue to watch this. Continue to watch.
And whatever you want to do.
Oh, and of course, goes without saying, anytime if you see the screen go black, that's what they do. Like if it's a ticket or if it's something on a screen, they do that to protect their privacy stuff. That's why they do that. So it's not me. That's just what's on the video.
Miss Brittany, you have a very terrible disposition. I feel sorry for whoever's involved in your life because your attitude is terrible.
Anything else?
No, you're free to go. You got to watch out for the officer. Why would? Okay, now.
Step out the vehicle.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
Stepped in front of my vehicle.
You just tried to slam the door.
There you go.
I'm not going nowhere. It's okay, because you just stepped in front of my vehicle. Because you just stepped in front of my vehicle. I don't care about y'all not liking me. I don't care nothing about y'all not liking me.
Walking away?
I don't care nothing about y'all.
Without me being able to clear
I don't care nothing about y'all not liking me. Because you know what? God gonna take care of it all. Yeah, I don't care nothing about y'all not liking me.
Hey, you're not free to go now. That's an assault on an officer. So step out the vehicle. Where are you going? What are you doing? She hit you with a car. You're gonna get what you. That's it.
They'll get what they're gonna get.
You want to spend the night in jail? That's what.
Tensions escalated when Brittany attempted to leave the scene. As she started to drive off, the officer who was standing near the front of her vehicle was nearly struck by her car. The officer immediately ordered her to stop, at which point the situation shifted from a simple traffic stop to a more serious confrontation.
This crap don't live here, baby.
You just hit the officer with your car.
Do
you really want to do that?
In front of my car.
No, he didn't.
That's what he did.
Your problem is you don't have problem with observation. You have no observation.
Okay, did you report it?
I sure did.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Sure did.
To who?
To Marion Oaks Police. Who are y'all?
Who are you?
Who are you to me? And who are you?
I am an official law enforcement officer certified in the state of Florida to enforce the laws. To enforce the laws, okay?
And you know how many
And you know what? And I don't care if you don't like me.
And I don't care about you not liking me either.
No, you said it to me first.
I don't care.
Okay. I don't know where this attitude is coming from.
The attitude is you.
You almost hit him with the car. You want to step out of the vehicle?
That's the attitude.
Do you want to step out of the vehicle?
I don't care nothing about you.
Do you want to step out? How about you step out of the vehicle?
I don't owe you nothing and you don't owe me anything. For what?
You just tried to hit this officer, and probable cause is aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
But he stopped in front of my car?
I was already in.
Yeah.
So go ahead and step out the vehicle. Turn your vehicle off and get out the vehicle. I'm not going to tell you this again. I'm asking you now to step out your vehicle.
Yeah.
Step out of your car.
Y'all will get what y'all gonna get.
That's fine. Step out your vehicle.
Fantastic.
Step out your vehicle.
And do what?
Step out the vehicle. You're going to jail. Turn around, put your hands behind your back.
Time for.
You're being arrested.
Oh, I'm not going to jail.
Yeah, you are. Turn
I'm
around,
not
put your
going
hands
to
behind your back. I'm not going to tell you
I'm
again.
not going to jail.
I'm asking
For
you
what?
to turn
And I'm
around,
not going to
put
jail.
your hands behind your
And
back.
I'm not going to jail.
Put your hands behind your back. Stop.
For what?
You're going to jail.
Yes.
Put your hands behind your back. Stop resisting.
Stop resisting or you're going to get tased.
I'm not going to jail. Sit back. Get up, sit down.
Stop.
Forward, please.
You find step now.
What's up, baby? I'm gonna get it for you. Y'all will get what's coming to y'all, because y'all gonna wish y'all wouldn't have touched me.
Now, let me just stop here again. If you think I'm cherry picking videos, let me tell you something. There are whole channels. This is all you see. No matter which one you click on, if it's black folks in it, it always is like this. Same thing. The cop is telling these people 50 times, 75 times, sit down, stand up. Why I got to do that? 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 Over and over again. And the cop is still, I'm amazed. I'm sitting up here like, man, how do these cops do this stuff? This happens literally all the time. All the time. But you know what? The new black media, they won't talk about this because, we're supposed to just accept that this is okay. It's not okay. All right. But the thing is, these aren't the crazies that a lot of times people want to try to distance yourself. All that I was saying in the beginning, a lot of these people are people that you would, given the right circumstances, you would defend them. I don't want to have anything to do with someone who's like this, who's going to jeopardize me. Imagine if you were sitting in the car with this person and you just trying to get to work and then they doing off like that. I don't have nothing to do with this person. Nothing. And you shouldn't want to have anything to do with people like this either. Anyway, let me continue to play it here.
And mental health back.
Walk around this way.
Okay. And my mammy will too.
After being informed of her arrest for assaulting an officer, Brittany refused to exit her vehicle, repeatedly claiming she had done nothing wrong and was being treated unfairly. Despite warnings of potential force, she continued to resist, prompting the officers to physically remove her from the vehicle and handcuff her.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, she get what's coming to her, baby. Especially when I didn't do nothing wrong.
To pat you down.
Pat me down.
Policy and procedure.
Pat me down, baby. Because those witches and warlocks, they going down, baby. Sure don't,
Are you sure
baby.
about that?
Positive.
Because you sure sound like a person that might.
Sure don't, baby.
So do I.
College degree.
So that means you're
and y'all fuck with me because I don't want to fucking stay with my mama. That's why y'all fuck with me. And I don't give a fuck.
Who's your mama?
Yeah.
Don't even
fuck
your
her.
mama.
Don't want to be around them.
Good, because you just added yourself another charge.
Yeah. For what?
Resisting. I'm with you. I'm going to court all day. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. Come on.
Let's go. Because, baby, we got it. It's on. Yeah. We're going to get down to the bottom of it. Okay. Because, baby, I know my rights. Because what I'm getting arrested for. Again.
Does she have anything on her?
Because what I'm getting arrested for.
You already been told.
Over and over, you've been told.
Aggravated assault.
Yeah.
With a deadly weapon, you're feeding.
Yep.
You said you would fight every battle, oh Lord. And you said that I see she hallelujah, that vengeance is yours. You see the weapons, oh Lord, that was formed, oh Lord, Father God, you said that she hallelujah. Father God, and you said that I see she hallelujah, that vengeance is yours, oh Lord. Father God, and that shackles gotta come off. They gotta come off, Lord. They gotta come off, oh Lord. Thank you, Lord. Vengeance is yours, Lord. I got it. He got it. He knows all and he's seen all. Nothing is hidden before him. He's seen it all. Every charge, every lie, Father God, I ask you to uncover it, Lord. Ask you to uncover every lie, Lord. Every lie, Lord. Every lie, every scheme, every plot, Lord. I ask you to uncover it, Lord. I ask you to uncover it, Lord. Uncover, Lord. Hallelujah. Uncover the schemes of the plots of the wicked. Nothing shall be hidden. Nothing shall be hidden.
As Brittany was arrested, her behavior became erratic. She made loud religious proclamations declaring God would handle the situation and the officers would face divine consequences. Her outbursts continued as she invoked biblical references while being handcuffed and taken into custody.
I guess.
So, yes, you want to finish?
She's either getting that or, and she needs to be placed under a Baker Act too, but I guess it's going to have to be done at jail because she's really having.
The officers on the scene expressed.
All right, I'll just, I'm pretty much on that one. But let me just add this real quick to this. That woman that you saw in that video, when I tell you, yeah, she did. She was speaking in tongues. And I was listening to everything she was saying. I'm going to tell you right now, there are many people, religious women that I've come across. Not all, but there are many that fit that profile to the T. I'm just trying to tell you. I mean, it's just, I'm listening to her. I said she would fit right into a lot of these churches. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. And it's like, wait a minute now, but you can't even follow basic instructions. They trying to tell, and then you gonna pull off and then bump into a police officer with your car. That you done. It's over. But that kind of mindset, people who are religious, they would hear that and they would join right with her, and she in the back going, people would join right in with her, speaking in tongues, and that's right. No weapon for, and I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just telling you this. You have these kind of mindsets in churches today. This is what religion does. It literally puts a blanket over these mental issues. Did you hear how the cops handled it? The cops were like, they put her in, and you heard the female cop. She was like, yeah, I was thinking about calling. It's a unit that specializes in people who, if they detect something there and they're like, okay, we need to get you. And I'm telling you, there are some of the biggest mental illness cases hiding in churches. Let me say that again. Some of the biggest mental illness cases are hiding in churches today. They are. People that would do this kind of stuff. But again, it's all on video. We asked for the video. Now we're just looking at just a few of them. There's a whole lot of them. I literally just pulled out a few of them, and I said, okay, here you go. People will be getting up there. The same folk be up there. You be speaking in tongues and the Lord told me this or whatever. And then when you start asking basic questions to them, all of a sudden they just get into split personality stuff. I can't tell you how many times I've encountered that. I remember this one time we were going to this church in California, and it was a homeless person that, she was there, sweet woman and all of that. And she came up, she was like making little cakes or whatever to sell so she can make some money, so she can, whatever, stuff like that. I'll just give just to give. I won't even eat the cake. I said, you can keep the cake, but here's some money or whatever. And so, she's of age where she could still get around, do her things and stuff. And so I asked her, I said, okay, here's some money. I said, well, let me ask you something. I said, right down the street, there's a bakery that's hiring. I said, they actually had a help wanted sign. That woman looked at me, rolled her eyes, and walked off. I said, well, there you go. There you go. And meanwhile, the church, I'm like, oh, she just anointed or whatever. Meanwhile, I'm looking at her like, yeah, y'all gonna need to check on that. And some of these churches will have these same people working in the daycare with the children. Oh, we got Sister So-and-so. They call her Sister Buttercup. And she's working with the children. She's very good with the children and all that. Meanwhile, she be back there like, stop it. And it's like, whoa. Okay, all right. You need to go somewhere. I'm serious. I'm telling you. I have seen these things for years. And I'm just trying to tell you. Anyway, let me move on to the next one. See, now we're in the age of cameras, and now we get to see this stuff in 4K. Here's another one here. Like I said, I'm not showing it in any particular order. I'm just showing it to you.
An avid churchgoer became the center of attention at the Sunday Mass when the management decided to trespass her for causing problems to other patrons. When officers arrived, she refused to budge from her seat, having already left her dignity at the door.
Hey, how are you?
I've been having issues with her for the last several weeks.
Okay.
And last week, she's getting kind of confrontational sometimes. Last couple weeks, she's been in the parking lot.
Dude, she keep coming on. She keep ringing and trying to tell us.
Oh, right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's going on?
She's just confrontational. She's difficult.
Where is she?
She's in here.
Right here on this side.
You on this side?
What's her name?
Latanya.
Case in point. Case in point. This is a church. They said, no, we can't handle this. We're going to get the cops on this one.
Latanya.
When the hour was come, he sat down, and the 12 apostles with him. And he said unto them, with desire, I have desire to eat this Passover.
Hey, Miss Latanya. Our staff here is asking that you head out, okay?
Do not touch me.
Okay.
Non-compliance, sir.
Okay,
let's
go.
I'm not leaving church. Non-compliance. Okay. I can politely talk with them, but non-compliance.
Ma'am, they're asking you to be trespassed. Do you want me to force you out, or do you want to walk out peacefully?
Oh, sir, I have said non-compliance. What does this entail?
Ma'am, are you going to leave peacefully?
Because everything that has been going on is everything that is going on is reported, sir. Do not touch my things.
Let's go.
Oh, okay, I will politely go, sir. Do not drag me out of the church, sir. I will politely go myself. Let me put my things down. Sir, you made me drop my Bible. Can you get my things? Oh, sir! Yeah, I said non-compliance. I will report you. Get your hands off of me. Get off of me.
Where's the work right now?
Try not to hurt her. I know she's a small woman.
Get off of me. Non-compliance.
You're the...
Don't you slay me. So I will trust in God in Jesus' mighty name.
Here we go.
Man, move off of me.
Ma'am, you can calm down,
Put it right there.
or you can go in a wrap where you're not able to move. I highly suggest you calm down, sit, relax. We're going to roll you on your side so it's easier for you to breathe, okay? I want you to roll on this shoulder. Roll on this shoulder. We're just going to...
Pull me. I said pull me on my left side, sir.
This is your left side.
Okay, where I can breathe.
Sit right there. Sit
Get
right
my
there.
glasses for me. I said non-compliance am outside of the church.
Don't.
Man,
You've already lost. Don't.
Man, because I'm moving on in my life and I'm serving God completely. I already know the word of God.
Okay.
I don't want to be compliant with this. Just forceful disrespect.
Ma'am, I asked you to leave 5 times.
I said non-compliance. I wasn't going to leave from church.
Yeah, well, when I tell you you're going to leave,
In my belief.
And non-compliance means you're trespassing after warning, which is illegal. That's why you're in handcuffs.
This is not illegal, sir. You can't tell me something.
Okay.
Can you stop stepping on my glasses? Where are my glasses?
They're in my hand right here. We're going to get her up. Can you search her, please?
What?
I'm about to just pray while I'm right in here.
All right.
Look at my sweater.
All right, we're going to lift you up. Pull your legs up under you. There you go. All right, let's go.
The pious woman continued her prayers outside the church by replying belligerently and scratching and kicking the officers trying to detain her.
Your vehicle over here.
This is not my vehicle, sir.
Wasn't talking to me.
The righteous shall not ever be forsaken and everything.
Put it right here where it's
In Jesus' mighty name, amen.
Clean up on the car for me, please.
May it be that Proverbs, the 6th chapter, will guard after me forever and ever. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. Jesus' mighty name, amen.
Lift your arms up for me.
Oh, what are you doing? Just filling me up.
And let me just stop again, for those who are, religious that are watching this. No, I'm not saying or suggesting that everybody that's religious acts like this or crazy. I'm not saying that at all. No, I'm not suggesting that, because that would be a complete lie. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that in religious spaces, religion does not pay attention to mental health. They don't pay attention to it. Because religion, what religion is, as long as you're compliant enough and operational enough to just follow instructions and to do what we tell you to do, then you fine. But this woman clearly was beyond that, and just they said, well, we can't do nothing to you because you all over the place, so we need to call the cops on you because you way beyond, and so they had to call the cops on her. But my point is that, again, religion, you'll find this. I've seen this in Christian spaces. I've seen this in Catholic spaces. I've seen this in Hebrew spaces. Some of the calls, some of the emails I would get from people, it's like, is your mind even there? And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm serious. But it's this kind of stuff that I'm showing right now. This is what these police cameras, they do capture. And people were demanding these things, thinking that they were going to catch cops saying the N-word every 5 seconds. But in reality, what we got is a much bigger mirror showing really the stuff that we've been talking about on this platform, and the things we need to really pay attention to. And you're here now able to see it in 4K, Anyway, let's move on. Just a few more here. Let me see. I have one here. Let's see, not that one. Let's go to this one. This is, I'll go to one of these right here. It's not a religious one, it doesn't involve religion, but it's.
Guess what? Y'all gonna chase.
We're not doing that.
No, this is this woman here. She
Guess what?
hold on, I'm trying to skip it here.
Y'all gonna chase.
On December 23, 2022, an officer spotted a woman who had run from him 2 weeks earlier.
Is this thing going
here?
We went to pull her over the other day and she took off from me and
Hold on, let me just.
On December 23, 2022, an officer.
Hold on.
Go ahead and open the door. I don't think we got that. 1412, copy 28.
This is
Guess
not.
what? Y'all gonna chase.
Okay, so I'll just tell you some of this as I'm fast forwarding this. This woman came into a gasoline station. She fell asleep. You know how some of these gasoline stations, depending on where you live, they'll have like a little the gambling machine there, like a slot machine kind of thing there. Well, she's in one of those states where they have one, and you can see her in the back right here. She fell asleep, and so the person at the front, the person working there, they called the cops and said, yeah, she need to get up out of here, which makes sense. And so they're coming there and trying to tell her, okay, ma'am, you're going to need to get up out of here and leave. And they ran some paperwork they ran, her background or whatever. And this woman got a whole line of arrests in her past. And so anyway, I'm just catching up on some things, and then let's go ahead and play it out.
I don't mind taking her.
So at this point of the video now, they're trying to decide, okay, because they tried to wake her up or whatever, and she fell back asleep, and they were like, well, what do you want to do now? Do we just go ahead and take her in or what? So that's what they're trying to decide right now. And then they're going to decide, yeah, we got to get her out of here.
Yeah.
As long as you're good with it, we'll do that, okay? I'm not trying to dump it out on you. All right. All right, let's do it.
All right, Miss Jackson.
Yeah.
So, you do have a warrant for disorderly conduct, okay?
Where?
Out of Candler County.
I know that. It's disorderly conduct and assault to an officer when he kicked his chest cam.
and I sat there, and it's like this. I know I have a warrant, but they let me go when I left Toombs County. After Toombs County laid on me, kept me for a week, got the matter, got here. I done paid for the civil suit checks. I should not be on probation here.
I gotcha. Yes, ma'am. But you still do have that warrant that is active right now.
You want to transport me? I'll take you. Shit.
Yes, ma'am. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take you. We're gonna go
to
meet.
the jail and sit there, and then I'll be in prison. Cause I'm finna fuck up Caroline County, cause they should have never revoked me.
I got
They
you.
should have
Yes,
never.
ma'am.
I ain't gotta do anything else. If y'all wanna fight, we'll fight.
No, ma'am, we're not going to do that. Okay?
When I post to help y'all.
Now, you notice her language. She said, if y'all want to fight, we'll go ahead and fight. Again, these are little things here that oftentimes are said to cops that people oftentimes they skip over that stuff. Like, I've seen videos where people are threatening and saying, listen, let's go ahead and let's go right now. There's a video I was just watching recently where it was a black woman saying, just go ahead and tase me. Go ahead and tase me. Another one said, just go ahead and kill me. Just go ahead and shoot me right now. See, these are the kind of things that go on every day that, again, a lot of black folks don't want to discuss these things, but they're on video. They're on video. And then when these people end up shot or severely injured or whatever, then that's when all of a sudden here comes Black Voltron, wants to come together, and now we got to do something about this because of these racist cops. But nobody wants to show up when this woman is in a situation where she's desperately in need of some mental care. You know? So anyway.
When y'all gonna start paying me?
Miss Jackson, we need you to turn.
I'm finna get in to put my stuff in your truck, and we finna go.
You're gonna put your hands.
Cause I could call my mama, I could call my
You're
dad,
gonna put your hands behind
and
your
it's
back
gonna be
first.
fucked up.
All right, Miss Jackson, you're gonna put your hands behind your back first.
I ain't got no
310, can you head this way?
Nothing. I can take off running.
Okay. Well, we're not gonna do that.
Yeah, we're gonna chase the night in the rain, barefooted and all.
See?
All right.
I'm not going to matter and sit in the cell for hours on top of hours when I've been dropped from them charges.
I got you. That's something you're gonna have to speak with them
They
with.
transported me here. Magistrate court said I could not come back until I go to court.
She's getting
so
a little
tell me
rowdy.
about that.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. I'm not gonna argue with you.
I'm finna find out myself since you won't ask.
Okay, so
I'm a first responder. I'm a firefighter. I helped y'all last night. That was some fucked up shit. Metaphor 314.
okay.
So
Yes,
guess
ma'am.
what? Y'all gonna chase.
We're not. We are not doing this.
Man, I don't care. Y'all can stop this and the rest all y'all want.
Let go of the bag.
No, it's my stuff.
Let go of
For
the
y'all to go through it and fuck with me all the time, I don't want y'all to have nothing of mine.
Quit resisting.
Stop.
Stop.
No,
resisting.
I already done been in jail and I'm not going back. Y'all got to shoot me in my damn head. That's the same way.
Stop resisting.
Stop resisting.
Stop fucking with me. You trying to make me hit the goddamn ground. I took y'all in peacefully. Now you gonna work.
She said, now you're going to work.
Get on the ground. Get on the ground.
And so anyway, I'm going to skip. They had to get back up. They didn't tase her or nothing like that.
I got this arm. I got the left arm. I got the left arm. We're good. You got it?
Need another pair?
No, we got that.
All right.
Yeah.
Says when we got a 95. All right. Roll over on your left.
I ain't rolling over shit.
There you are. There you are.
So yeah, so that's another one there. You know, you could tell this woman again. There's some mental things going on there, and all of this is on video. And I know for some people they don't like this topic when we're talking about mental illness or mental health, but this is all around us, and we got plenty hours of video that shows it happening all the time, and it's around us. And it's not just people, again, that are on the edges of society that or whatever, but these are people that oftentimes, as I've been saying earlier in this video, that a lot of black folks will align themselves with. If I were to take a snapshot, this screenshot right here, look at y'all, look at these 4 white cops that got this black woman down. If I was to post that just in and of itself, people would go nuts and they would run over it. But now you've seen the rest of the video and you see what led up to this. This is a serious issue. Anyway, let's move on. Let's see, I got this one here. I want to show you another one, how this one just escalated, okay? And this is what the little problem I have. It's good to educate people on how to interact with police officers if you get stopped by the police. Basically, let me just tell you this. If you get stopped by the police and you've been speeding or something like that, and they ask you for your license, just give them your license. You ain't trying. Don't try to do be the judge, and all of that, and executioner and all that in your car. If they ask for your license, just give them your license. If they ask for your insurance, just give it to them. That's it. Well, according to subsection 852.139, I don't have to give anything. Just give them your license. If you didn't do anything wrong, there's an extremely high probability ain't nothing gonna happen to you. Just get it. If you were speeding, get your ticket and keep it moving. But here's an example I'm gonna give you where no, it couldn't be that. It had to be more. Watch.
Help! Kidnap! Kidnap! Kidnap!
Open it.
Kidnap! Kidnap! Sir, and I'm going to work. I'm late. Can you move?
She also refused to reveal her personal information. Here's how the events unfolded.
Hello. Can you roll your window down for me? Hi, how are you?
Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Excuse me.
Can you sit in the car for me?
I don't answer questions, sir, and I'm going to work. I'm late. Can you move?
Okay, I need you to sit down for me.
I don't answer questions, sir.
I'm not asking you a question.
But you violated my personal space and my constitutional right. You touching my. It's not a traffic stop because you pulling me in when I'm pulling into work and you touching my personal item.
Okay,
Please don't touch my personal
this
item.
This isn't going to be a big deal, okay?
Sir, but please do not touch my stuff.
Okay.
Please do not touch my stuff.
Okay.
And please give me 6 feet.
Okay, I need you to take a seat in the car for me.
I do not. I work here. I do not.
That's fine. The reason I'm stopping you is you don't have a front license plate.
Well, it's a black license plate. And you want anything, you can run my VIN number. I'm not asking questions. You want anything, run my VIN number. I'm not asking questions. I'm not giving you nothing. Run my VIN number. You want some information, run my VIN number. That's all you're going to get. You are to. Because I'm not going to answer questions. I'm not giving you my identification. I don't have to answer questions. I don't have the Fourth Amendment right percent to any searches of procedures. I'm mad as hell because you're pulling me over and I'm going to work. And I am a security officer / detective. And you can see my badge there. So can you please give me 6 feet? Can you please give me 6 feet, sir?
Okay, then sit in your car, please.
I would not. I don't have to. I know my constitutional right. And Amendment 1 through Amendment 11, I don't have to.
150, I'll take a second. Are you going to provide your driver's license?
No, I do not have. You can run my VIN number.
You don't
and
have
the
a driver's
constitutional
license?
right, I do have to. I don't have to give you nothing. You can run my VIN number, that's it.
Okay.
I'm not giving you nothing.
You're not going to give me your
I'm not
driver's
going to give you anything. I don't answer questions. I do not answer questions. And the Fourth Amendment right, I do not consent to procedures and searches. You can run my VIN number, that's it. I'm late for work. Can you please move?
Well, you
want to speak to my manager or something? I need to go to work.
I don't need to speak to your manager.
Well, I'm closing my door and I'm going to go to work.
Okay. You're going to get put in handcuffs
Sir,
in about 2
please,
seconds.
I don't have to. You're not going to detain me on a work procedure or search. On a criminal, on offense, on Amendment 1, Amendment 2, or what?
I'm stopping you on a traffic stop.
Well, traffic lights, you do not have no procedures to question me or to go through my vehicle.
I'm not going through your vehicle.
Well, you can stop touching my property.
Were you driving this car?
Yes, I am. It's my vehicle. Run the VIN number. That's it.
Okay.
Run the VIN number. That's all I'm asking you to do. I'm on hello. I'm asking your T Haley. What's your badge number? 17 to run my VIN number. Okay. You are refused to run my VIN number?
I don't need to run your VIN number. I need your
I'm not going to give you anything of mine.
You were driving this vehicle?
Yes, it's my vehicle.
Yes, and you were driving it,
It's
right?
my vehicle, correct. I don't answer questions, correct. I don't answer questions.
Okay.
Please do not touch my property.
I need you to sit in the car for me.
I will not, sir. Please do not touch my property.
Okay. Okay, we need to take this down a notch, okay?
Sir, I'm asking you to run my VIN number.
I will, okay.
I'm not going to ask any questions. I ask you to run my VIN number. That's it. Tell y'all everything you need to know about my VIN number. Tell y'all everything you
This isn't a big deal.
It is a big deal because I'm asking you to run my VIN number. You don't want to run my VIN number. So.
I will run your VIN number. Okay. I was just going to give you a warning for not having a front license plate.
You give me a citation, I'll answer questions. That's it.
Okay. So she doesn't want to give me her license.
So the cop just said, I wasn't even going to give you a ticket. I was just going to give you a warning. All right. So here we are again.
You can run my VIN number.
She just wants me to run her VIN. That's it.
Run my VIN number. I don't answer questions. And a Fourth Amendment right, I don't consent to procedures of searches.
Okay, well you at least need to identify yourself.
I
do.
You
you have your
run
driver's
my
license?
VIN number. I do. I don't have. I don't
okay,
answer questions.
VIN number is identifying your
I
vehicle.
don't answer questions.
We need to identify you as a person.
I don't answer questions, sir. I don't answer questions.
All right. Are you going to give me your driver's license or no?
I'm going to let my windows up because my windows up and it's going to rain.
All right. So you got open cannabis right here. So that's going to get taken for now.
Sir, can you? I don't present. In a Fourth Amendment right, you cannot go to my vehicle. Sir, in a Fourth Amendment right, you cannot go. No. In the Fourth Amendment right, you cannot. And the fourth, my boss is here. I'm at work. You're violating my commitment events. Do not go to my vehicle. In the Fourth Amendment right, you just violated my Constitution Fourth Amendment right. You just touched inside my vehicle. When I just said in the Fourth Amendment right, you cannot touch my personal items. When you reach inside my vehicle, can you please?
Instead of raising your voice,
I'm not raising my voice.
Have a conversation.
I'm trying to, but he's being an asshole. When he ain't giving me 6 feet, it's COVID. Please give me 6 feet, sir.
Okay, so you are raising your voice.
Sir, can you guys give me 6 feet? Can you give me 6 feet? Because I violated my Constitution rights. Okay, I'm going to talk to you.
Okay, so
you can run my VIN number. That's it, sir. Run my VIN number. Run my VIN number, sir.
The VIN, we're not trying to get the VIN right now. We're trying to identify you as a person, okay? You are standing with your door open.
He put me
found cannabis
in
your car.
In my car. Yes, I smoke.
So this right here.
It's legal. It's legal.
This right here.
It's legal, sir. It's legal.
This
it's
is
legal.
Not legally.
This bag is open. This is not
a type of medical procedures I have. I don't answer questions.
Ma'am,
you don't want to identify yourself, so how would I know?
Ma'am, this bag is not approved.
All right, I'm going to give you one more chance to give me your driver's license or identify yourself.
Sir, can you call your sergeant? Can you call your sergeant?
You're going to get put in handcuffs and you're going to go in the back of my car.
Miss Sergeant Formanton. I'm going to put you over from the T-head. I'm at Sergeant Formanton. This is Officer on security business.
Okay, cool. So you're not going to identify yourself, right? You're not going to identify yourself?
I'm just skipping.
No, I'm not going.
So now she's going live.
I do not. Hell no.
So now she's going live. She's going live on social media.
Hell no, please go. Hell no, please go. Can't you come out? Help! Kidnap! Kidnap! Kidnap!
Open it.
Kidnap!
Mm-hmm.
Kidnap! 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 They're kidnapping me! He kidnapping me! Alicia! For! Alicia! Alicia! No, hell no. No.
And now you're running. Now you're running.
Help me! Help me! Help me! Help! Help me! Help me! Help me! Help me! Help me! Shut that video! Shut that video! Shut that video! Sherry, help me! Help me! No! No! Hell no! Hell no! Because I'm not resisting! I gave you everything you wanted and you're still locking me up! No, you're racist! No, hell no! Call a female sergeant, I'll go! Call a female officer, I'll go willingly! Because you're violating my rights!
I can go on with that particular one, but like I said again, there are plenty of videos like this on. There's probably one or two more that I am going to share with you. But again, I just want to recap for those that are just joining us. Again, thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it. What we're looking at again is when we look at the whole history behind officers having what you call body cams. It was black folks who made the demand on the law enforcement community to require that all police officers have body cams, because it was the thought of people who were demanding these things that now we will be able to catch officers, particularly white officers, saying things like the N-word or just going across the line continuously against black people and all that kind of stuff. But in reality, we're not seeing that, even though there are cases where, yes, there are things like I'm thinking right now is a white female officer that shot a motorist. This was like a couple of years ago that, she clearly crossed the line on it. Fortunately, they had it on video and she was charged for that. And I think she's, if not in prison, she's on her way to prison. There's many other cases as well where officers, by their own video cameras, have been caught doing some things where they're crossing the line. So we're all for officers having cameras. I'm all for that. However, the larger thing that revelation has come out of this is not so much what officers are doing, it's what the people that they're arresting are doing. And when we look at rather if it's mainstream media, which is white media, if we look at black media, if we look at new black media, they will not take the time and show these other videos that do not meet the certain narratives that they're looking for. They will only highlight the ones the ones I just described to you, where involves a cop that's crossing the lines. But there are thousands upon thousands upon thousands of videos that show the mindset, the mental instability of many of these people who find themselves in this situation over and over again. And what I'm saying is that is what's not being discussed. That is what's not being talked about enough. This is not some kind of entertainment or for us to sit back and kiki and ha-ha at these people or anything like that. This is for informational purposes so that we can look at this stuff, learn from it, and see, as hard as it may be, see, okay, we asked for it. Now we get to see what's really going on. But unfortunately, there are numbers of people who would turn their heads, look the other way because this is too uncomfortable for them. They don't want to look at it. But yet they will spend hours upon hours listening to someone reinterpret a video that they didn't even watch their own selves. But they will listen to someone saying, see, yeah, these cops out here, they're racist and they're this and they're demonic and they're after us over and over again. And you will chew on that for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. But when we look at the actual video of a lot of these cases, people don't want to watch it because it doesn't fit your narratives. You understand? So that's why I'm showing this. It's not for any other reason but that. There's another video here. I'm trying to see. I'm surprised I didn't bookmark it here. If I can find it, this particular woman here, she actually claimed that she was a lawyer, an attorney. Let me see if I can find that one. Oh, here it is. Here it is. This woman actually claimed that she was an attorney, and I want you to watch this one.
June 8th, 2023. Spoiler, it didn't end with a treadmill session.
Did you call for us? Can we speak over here? What's up?
She stole my money.
Okay. Do you work here? Do you
No. I work out here. I'm a Blink member, but I don't work here. So if I did, I wouldn't be wearing this.
Okay. How did you know she stole your stuff, and what stuff are we talking about?
What did you say?
How did you know she stole your stuff, and what stuff are we talking about?
Why are you here? Because I have the time for this. Why are you here? Actually,
did you call me?
I don't want to talk to you. Hi. She stole my money.
What began as a simple gym visit turned into a full-blown spectacle when Clementina Udeogalanya decided that rules and reality didn't apply to her.
I'm going to over-exaggerate what happened so that you can understand why I thought she stole my money. And the reason why I'm going to do that is I'm a licensed attorney.
She's a licensed attorney.
Walking in, ready to do my workout.
This was on my back or up front over here?
Walking in, ready to do my workout. Common practice.
All right, so she goes through explaining.
And by Blink, I mean Blink Fitness. That was wrong, because that could happen. This thing, I don't want to call her the beaver. This thing hurts. Okay. On my wrist. That shouldn't be on file. In fact, I specifically said, I probably said, take it off. But I specifically said, charge this new card all the time. And then charging this new card, when I saw that you did it again, still charging the wrong card, old card, or wrong. I'll give you that. Yeah. Yes, and went back and put the card on file. Remember, at the Blink Fitness that I signed up for, because I could have did it here. Yeah. if I noticed that I was happening, I would care. But I drove my black all the way to witness. Because I also like that one too. I like this one too. It's close. If I knew that my card wasn't working and it should be working, but for some reason you're choosing not to try the one that should be working, it's on you.
Okay, so let me stop here. So basically, she's having a billing issue. That's basically what this amounts to. It's a billing issue, and she's frustrated about it. It sounds like they charged the wrong card, something like that, right? And so this woman got so pissed off, she said, I'm gonna call the cops. The cops come, and they're doing what they normally do. They will separate people and say, okay, I'm going to question this party over here. I'm going to question this party over there. You know what I mean? Get them separated. Let me get the stories, and then we can figure out what happened in the middle, right? So that's what they're doing. Now, I want you to watch now what happens, what this lady does.
What's going on? I don't really know. So I get an idea. So if a customer has a past due balance, they scan it on that machine over there, it pops it in the system.
That was their thing that they keep using when they come walking in? Okay.
So long story short, if that situation popped up on our machine, and it's our job to tell them, like, hey, you have an overdue balance.
Okay.
My manager tried telling her that, but she walked away.
Okay.
So
before that, we went to go address it. She went to go grab the water, so I was like, oh, she's gonna come back with me first. We address it there.
Okay.
And she just kept walking, and I'm like, oh, excuse me. And then she just kept walking, so I had to like go up there and I was
Where are the waters kept? Just here?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, you have to grab
So she
one
took the
to-
water and went into the gym. Okay.
So this woman had a billing issue, and then she was like, basically, screw you. I'm going to go back here and grab me a water, which you got to pay for, and just kept right on going. They're like, ho, wait a minute. You know.
And I'm like, oh, excuse me, and I tried calling her, and she wasn't listening, and I just kept.
All right, so they're still explaining. Let me jump here. All right, so watch.
We should be waving at.
Okay.
And then that's when she just called the cops.
Gotcha. And most of this interaction was with you?
Yes.
He didn't have any interaction with her?
No, like he was here present.
Told to step back, she went with shut up instead.
Hold on, wait.
Stay over by her. Don't come approaching me like that.
I can do whatever.
No, you can't, because I'm going to take you out of here.
Then do it. No, you
I'm going to take her out of here.
You got to take me out of here.
See?
Because I'm not doing nothing to you. I'm not doing anything that could even be.
Cop telling her to go step back. He's telling her to step back. No, I don't want to.
Back up.
Why?
Because you were talking to them and I was talking to them.
Well, here I am.
Obviously, you can't talk to them, so if you keep yelling at me, I'm going to take you out of here in handcuffs.
Shut
and
up.
you are going to get.
Shut up.
Get away
Just
from
do
me.
your job.
Back up.
No.
This is your last chance.
No.
Then I'm taking you in.
There you go.
Yep.
And another reason why I'm showing this kind of stuff, because see, here's the thing. These are the kind of people that will get on TikTok, they will get on YouTube, and they will only tell you just this little tiny, but, oh, I was accosted by the police, and it was racism, and they blame all of that, but you don't get the whole story. This is why you don't hear new black media up here showing all this stuff. They're only going to jump on the ones that are convenient. This woman, at least according to her, she says she's an attorney. But look how she's carrying on like this. If she was an attorney, she would know she need to go somewhere and sit down. But look how it escalated. It didn't even have to go here.
Give me the water.
Take what's in my hand.
Let go of the water.
She
let
like,
go of the water.
let go of the water.
No.
She paid for the water? She did.
So put it back in my hand.
No, it's going to go with you.
Yeah.
Put it in my hand.
headphones. We don't want them to snap.
Let go of the phone. Let go of the phone.
You stole my phone.
It's going with you.
No, it's not. How do I know that? I have no idea where my phone is right now. You took it from me. Get off my finger.
Let go of headphones.
Why?
All right, being very belligerent. Now they're going. They're saying, okay, you need to go in the car.
Get in the car.
How can I? You're holding me back.
You're resisting. You're pushing against me. Keep pushing against me. I'm going to charge you.
You already did.
Get in the car.
How?
Sit down. In the car.
Get in first. Left foot.
Put your
first.
foot in and get in the car.
Clearly, I don't know nothing.
Let's go. Get in the car.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sit in the car. Sit down.
Clearly, I can't, because you're handcuffed me.
Sit down in the car.
There's a strap preventing me from doing that.
There is not. That is a seatbelt that's going to go over you as soon as you get in the car. Put your feet in the car.
The seatbelt
Feet in the car.
The seatbelt is actually not giving me space to sit down.
Stop pushing back against me, and if you kick me in the shin, I'm gonna use force.
Why would I do that?
Because I just felt your foot hit me in the shin, so don't do it.
Where's your shin?
Don't do it.
Where's
Get
your
in
shin?
the car.
Where's your shin?
Put your feet
Wait,
in the car.
Oh, you hitting me too.
Put your feet in the car.
Over and over,
She
y'all.
refused to sit in the patrol car, got strapped to a gurney, kicked the booking cage like it owed her money, then returned later claiming she'd be kidnapped without a taxi ride.
Get in the car.
Oh shit! Ow.
Get in the car.
Want to give me a hand? I'm trying.
Get in the car.
Am I not in the car?
Put your feet in the car.
But I'm in the car.
Put your feet in the car now.
They're in the car.
Get your feet in the car.
They're in the car.
They're not in the car.
Yes, it is. My feet is attached to my body.
It goes on, y'all. It goes on. It's tiring. It goes on. It goes on. Trust me. She goes. It's another 15 minutes. She goes on with this over and over. They ask her just to do some of the basic things and won't do it. And as she's doing that, it's getting worse. She's adding more and more charges on her over and over again. But again, this is the kind of stuff nobody wants to talk about this. But this is people ask for body cams, and now this is what they're capturing. All right, I got one more. Since people, if you think, oh, you just beating up on the women or whatever. No, let me just show you one. This involves a dude. This involves a guy. All right. But like I told you, as I'm going through these videos here, I'm finding that it's mostly black women followed by white women. And then you have black men, and then I would say it's white men after that when you're looking at these videos. These videos all over the internet. All over the internet. Let me go to this one here, the one that involved the guy. Where is it? If I can find it. I hate that. I know I bookmarked it. Now I can't find it. Hold on. If not, it's all good. It's all right. Because I can just tell you about it if I can't find it. Hold on. Mom and father hit him by next. Oh, here it is. 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 All right, here we go. Oh, no. Back up. No, I need to show y'all this one here. I'm not going to even show. I'm just going to show you a part of it. I definitely need to show you this one here. Where is it here? I just saw it. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, you definitely need to say. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is.
People for fun. I do.
Okay, so this is another one being very belligerent. Was in a hotel, and the hotel staff asked her, "You need to go. You need to go. You need to get out of here." She had the same exact attitude, and so they said, "Okay, ma'am, you need to go. We got to accompany you to your room to make sure that you vacate the premises." And so she was being very belligerent, didn't want to do it, right? And so I want you to watch what she does. All right, this is what goes on. All right, so let's take a look at this one right here. And then I'll get to that last one.
Go!
Grab your
Just
stuff.
go!
No.
Just go!
We're ready inside. You need to grab your
Just
stuff.
go. Well, I'm taking my time then. What gotta do with this shit?
All I'm asking you to do is grab your stuff and leave.
Do you see that?
Yeah.
Do you want to help me?
No, I'm not going to help
Well,
you.
stop touching stuff in this room before I accuse you for theft.
You can
For
accuse me
high
of whatever
valued
you want.
items.
Grab your
If
stuff.
you touch a high valued
Grab your
item
stuff.
such as me,
Grab
I'm
your
pressing
stuff.
charges. Stop playing with me.
Grab your stuff.
Why you gotta have the door open while I'm doing what I
See,
know
just
will?
go and get your stuff. That's all you got to do. But see, watch how this plays out.
Your stuff.
Baby, I don't got no gun.
Okay, I don't know.
We don't know.
Grab your stuff.
Just go outside if you scared.
I'm not scared. Grab your
You
stuff.
are
Just
scared.
grab your stuff. Grab your stuff.
Damn. You want to invade my privacy for some bullshit? Move. I got stuff.
Move.
Don't lock the door.
I need a change. Move.
Grab your stuff.
All right, bet. This is what we doing. Come on now. All I wanted to do was change. I got to change out the dress. You want the show?
Grab your stuff.
Yeah, I am.
Put it up. Put your
Now,
clothes
see,
on.
now here she took her clothes, stripped her down, butt naked. Now she's there. Now we're there. But see, this is what a lot of people, they don't see this kind of stuff. And it's out here on YouTube. So here you got these cops out here. She done stripped us up. Now, if they didn't have the body cameras, how you think this would played out? All of a sudden, oh, they took me, they stripped me down and all. It would have been all of that. And people to run right on with that story. But see, now with the body cams, now we see what's going on, don't we? All right. It's a much longer video, but I just wanted to show that part because I thought that one was really something. And when I saw that, one more, this one involves a guy, and I want you to take note of the part where they actually arrested him. And okay, hold on, let me go back here. This is the last one, and then we will wrap it up. Okay, we will do a very important wrap up on this. All right, here we go.
Get on the ground! On the ground! You white folks gonna be getting slaved by us, and we gonna be whooping the shit out y'all ass.
In St. Petersburg, Florida, an officer initiated a traffic stop on a car for having expired temp tags. As you'll see, this stop was anything but routine.
All right, so note, you get pulled over, right? If the cops are pulling you over, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to stay in the car, right? Stay in the car, look forward, keep your hands on the steering wheel. That's what you're supposed to do. But look at what this guy does, and I want you to listen to what the cop tells him.
Hey, stay in the car. Get back in the car right now. Get back in the car and close the door. Tango 16 1050.
I just came to move my stuff.
Oh, well, you don't jump
Stay
out
in
of
the
the
car.
like that.
My bad, I just came to move my stuff, that's it. What's going on?
Stay facing forward. Back in the car.
I just moved out my house. I'm just going to...
What about that makes it appropriate to jump out of the car in a traffic stop?
Cuz, you pulling me over for what? What you pulling me over for? What did I do? I saw you with the little speeder.
You want to keep running your mouth? You want to keep running your mouth?
No, I just want to know. I just can't look, bro. I just can't move myself.
What does any of that have to do with you jumping out of the car at the beginning of a traffic stop? When is that appropriate? It doesn't matter what I pull you over for. That's how you get hurt. Because I don't know what your intention is. I don't know you. You're putting me in some kind of... I don't care, bro. How do I know that? Act like an adult. This isn't that big of a deal. You're about to make it a real big one, though.
Sorry.
See?
I'm sorry.
Where's your driver's license at? Ridiculous. Do you not have a license? Awesome. Step out of the car. Turn around, place your...
Wait, hold on, hold on, wait.
Step out of the car.
Wait, I'm moving. Record this.
Get out of the car right now.
Okay.
You're on your taste. Get on the ground. On the ground.
Okay, bro. Damn, bro.
Get on your stomach.
On your stomach.
Can you go to the house?
No, he didn't do anything.
Bro, I gotta move my stuff.
He didn't do anything.
Tango 16 or 1015 resisting.
Bro, what the bro?
Stop pulling.
Man, no, man. Man, bro, I need to move my stuff, bro. Like, real talk. I need to move my things, bro. Bro, I need to move my things to my mama's house, bro. Like,
Stop tensing up and relax.
Bro, I am relaxed, bro.
Roll on your side.
Like, bro.
Tango 16 out, Tango 17 with me. If you didn't already call it out, we're 1015 with one that resisted.
Like, damn, can I talk?
No.
No, now you're going to jail.
Can you get my girl her money? Get my girl that money.
No, it's on you.
No, get her that money, bro. Babe, get your money.
Stop talking.
Get her money, bro. Like, please, give
Tango
her
16,
money.
we can get one more non-emergency. We have a passenger in the car.
No, babe, just chill. Just chill. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Can you
Take your own advice and stop talking.
Can you get her money, please, though?
Roll on the other side.
All right, so let's move on.
Our suspect is now in cuffs, but you'll see he has a lot more to say for himself. For now, officers must work with his girlfriend, who has been frantic this whole stop.
All right, so they're gonna talk to the girl, and basically the girl, she's pregnant. I think she just found out she's pregnant and all that stuff. So they gotta like calm her down and all of that. And she mentions during this interaction with the cop that he doesn't do anything. Sometimes he does get mad. Sometimes he hits, and pushes me or whatever. But it's no big deal. You see, peace of mind counsel. You hear what I'm saying? That's normal. It's like normal behavior. He pushes and hits me, but it's no big deal. All right.
I have a good license, and then he tries to reach for the gear shift to take off. And now at this point, I think he's
I'm
trying to do, sir.
All right, now pay attention to this. You want to talk about now? Pay attention to this. At this point now, I didn't know. I said, are we in the twilight zone? Okay, so let me back up a little bit. You saw where they pulled up in the driveway. All right, what I skipped over in the interaction was that the guy that they arrested, he was saying, yeah, this is my mama's house, or this is my parents' home. I'm just here to take stuff out of the house because I'm moving, right? Well, come to find out, this isn't his house, right? And this guy that you're going to see, this older guy, he lives in the house next door, right? Okay, I just let me just play it.
It's
expired.
What? It's just expired, but
Yeah,
it's legitimate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what could have been a simple ticket is now what? He's got multiple felony charges for no reason, right? What could have been a conversation and a ticket, he escalated to this point. Because we have to protect ourselves because we don't know who he is, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what his intention is, what he's trying to do. Sir?
Watch this.
Do you know these people?
I need to get out, man.
All right, do you know these people? Yeah, they pulled into your driveway. They said this is where they were coming. Is that true, or do you just not even know these people?
Did they pull in my driveway?
Yeah.
All these driveways on the street, they pull in my driveway.
That's what I'm saying.
What the fuck?
That's what I'm saying. Do you even know them?
Why would they pull in this driveway then?
They said they lived
Do
here.
you know them?
Why would they pull in this driveway if they didn't?
I'm telling you, because they're saying they lived here. Do they not live here?
Charles.
So you don't live here. He was lying about that.
Charles.
All right.
Charles.
All right, we're going to get you out of the driveway, man. Don't worry about it, okay?
Let this police know what's going on. I got a divorce from my wife. The papers is for me.
Whoa. What's going on? Do you see you see how rampant this is? Now this guy comes out of nowhere talking about, see, I got a divorce from my wife. What? Go back. I'm sitting here watching this. Look, you taking notes, and I was just like, just threw the book down. I was like, whatever. All right.
Charles.
All right, we're going to get you out of the driveway, man. Don't worry about it, okay?
Let this police know what's going on. I got a divorce from my wife. The papers is for me to get. I need to get them, but she ain't gonna let me get them.
Okay, bro. We're about to get you out of here. I was just asking a question because they're saying they live here.
Bro,
all right, how about this? Go back to your car. We're going to get all this moved so that you can get out of here. This interaction doesn't need to happen anymore. You don't even have anything to do with this, all right? Go back to your car. I'm going to get the car moved for you so you can get out. Yep, go back to your car so that I can get all this situated for you so you can get out of here.
Hello?
What's going on?
I need to go get the stuff
What is going on here?
Can someone just come stand by with her somewhere else so we can get this vehicle moved so this gentleman can get out? Box underneath his seat from the key that was in his pocket.
Turn around, face the glass. Stop looking at me. Face the glass that way.
I want to talk to Miss Cox.
Face the glass that way.
Anyway, it goes on, y'all. He was still struggling, and this cop, in his struggles, he actually spit in the mouth of this cop. That was disgusting. And he was just going on. He crying for his mama and all that. And he went. It just something. Anyway, let me just say a few things. There is a couple of videos. They're not police videos. These are news reports that I want to show you. I know we're going a little bit extra long on this broadcast here, but I do want to show you those videos. But before I get to that, now hopefully you see now why this is when people talk about, and like I said, we got people on here like Peace of Mind Counseling, and then there's other people who know this, who's been in that space for many years, who know way more than I know. They will tell you that this topic that we're talking about, when we're talking about mental health, It's very rampant, and it's in various degrees. These people that you saw on video, reason why I spent 20 plus minutes in the beginning of this video trying to make the case that these aren't necessarily outsiders. It would be easy for us to sit back and look at these people and say, oh, they're crazy. They're not the ones. I don't hang with those people anyway. Why are you only focusing on that? That's not the sum total of all black people. When I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is, going back to the videos that I talked about before, even though you may not associate yourself with people who think this way, that may not be your case. However, you will come to the defense of these people when you perceive that they are themselves are experiencing some type of injustice. And so what will happen is you'll begin to expend all of this energy on social media, doing whatever. We got to save so-and-so. We got to make sure we're taking a stance for so-and-so. And it's like, no, they have a long history of craziness. That is not to discount the injustice that they may have experienced. But my point is that we can spend that energy elsewhere. There are some people, unfortunately, they're just going to stay in crazy town, and they need to stay in crazy town. And crazy town is going to have all kinds of unfortunate experiences. That's what I'm saying. And so for people who do suffer from, some type of mental illness or whatever, first we got to acknowledge that it does exist. And like I said, you got this one woman that was in the gym that I showed you case in point. She says she's an attorney. There's other people as well in professional fields, and it's not just women. I want to stress that it's not just women, it's also men as well. When certain things are missing, when you're not, I'm talking about up here, when you're not healthy up here, it lends itself to these kind of interactions that just escalate to astronomical areas, and we just tolerate it. That's the thing that really bothers me, is that we see these kind of behaviors and we just tolerate it as, well, that's niggas for you. But we have to remember, I talked about how there is a rewiring that has to take place in your mind. And that rewiring, it takes time, where you're no longer trying to associate yourself people based on color, but you got to start associating yourself with people who have a shared value system that you have. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so what that means is there's going to be a lot of people that you're going to have to disconnect yourself from, and that includes people in your own family. There's some of y'all got people in your family, they crazy. They always are always in mess. Why would you want to associate yourself? Well, at the end of the day, we all family. No, the hell we ain't. I'm sorry. No, you by yourself. Why would I want to associate with that? Well, mama always told us at the end of the day, we family. Mama gone. Okay, mama gone. In many cases, she gone. Okay, you don't have to continue. Whatever she said, okay, whatever. But we don't have to do that kind of stuff. No, if someone in your family, if they are a trouble magnet, we have to begin to start disassociating ourselves with those people. I'm not saying it's easy. It's not. But we have to begin to disassociate. That's where this begins. This is where healing begins, is creating these, you got to start separating yourself from these individuals here. Let me give you an example here. Here's a story. I just saw this. This is in Georgia. This is a family whose father just passed away. Well, I'm going to let the story speak for itself. Okay. It's a short clip, but this is what's within what we call black culture. Let me just.
Indicator family says squatters have taken over their childhood home just days before it was supposed to be sold.
Our Chase Howell spoke.
Okay. Let me get to the, right here. Here we go. So squatters took over the house of a man who basically, he died. He just died.
With a family who says the situation has been heartbreaking.
We doing a party. You know what time it is.
From inviting people on Facebook to pool parties to posting videos on social media from inside this $500,000 home. One family says squatters have taken over.
It is a nightmare. These videos and advertisements are so far reaching
that we received a call this morning from someone in Florida that said, hey, I've seen your dad's property on the internet.
Lisa, Kevin, Marcus, and Marlene grew up in the home. They say it was just last week their dad passed away. And not even 48 hours later, the squatters came in like thieves in the night and took over their childhood home.
It pisses me off. Tremendously.
After learning about the squatters, the siblings called the police, and according to the incident report, the people inside the home supplied a lease. Then later that same day, Kevin went to check on the house and was met by a group of guys.
They started making threats against my life, and one of them told his friend to go get something, and he came back with a rifle in the doorway.
See?
He didn't point it at me, but they made threats against my life and made it known that I might not walk out of there.
But we all need to stick together, y'all. At the end of the day, I'm rooting for everything black. I'm rooting for everything black at the end of the day. Okay.
I went up to the front door to see if anyone was home for an interview and to see the lease, but no one answered. A little later, I saw a car pulling out of the driveway, and I met them in the street.
Do you live here at all? You don't? Do you know who does? Are they home? Okay, because I'm trying to get a hold of them because people are trying to say that basically they're squatting in the house. Do you have the person's number that lives there? You don't? All right, do you want to go on camera to talk about it?
I'm hearing my father's voice.
Marcus says he's frustrated, not only as one of the homeowners, but as a lawyer. He says he's heard about cases like this, but never thought it would happen to him.
It's infuriating to see people in that home destroying it and partying and inviting other strangers into that home.
And as we were sitting around talking after the interview, Lisa received a voicemail from the DeKalb County Sheriff's Office.
He now has 3 days, so not including the weekends. He has until Monday to make to answer.
Yes, DeKalb County. Yes. That's how I feel.
In DeKalb County, Chase Howell, 11 Alive News.
So fortunately, the way this is, well, for now is ending is that DeKalb County is saying that, look, we're going to give them 3 days. They're going to have to show up in court. And if they can't prove that lease is, I don't even know where they get this lease from. If they can't prove the lease, the validity of the lease, they got to get out of there, and they'll do it by force. So hopefully that pans out or whatever for them. But see what I'm saying? Again, there wasn't white people that came in. They taking our houses. You know, there'll be all kind of platforms out here. They'll be all over that. It was a bunch of redneck hillbillies that was doing that. But because it's people that look like us, again, in your brain is familiarity. The greater community sits back and says, oh, this is no big deal. This is what we're saying. This part of our brain that relaxes on stuff like that, what we are advocating. This is why I've been on here for almost 2 hours now. What we are saying is that you have to start taking that part seriously. That part of your brain that relaxes with stuff like this, you have to now start paying attention to that and start asking, why is that? And then once you start asking why, then you'll start finding out the things that we need to do to fix that. It's just there are adjustments that need to happen. Some of them will happen overnight. Some of them it's going to take some time. If you go back to the other videos that we've done in the last couple of weeks, we've been intensely in this and giving you step-by-step instructions on what we can do to fix that. Okay? That's what all of this is about. I know some of this is quite embarrassing. We don't want to see it. And I have some more videos, but I'm going to skip it. But I know it can be very draining and embarrassing and all that. I get that. But all of that is part of the fixing process. Do you understand what I'm saying? We could sit up here and talk about all this other stuff all we want. But until we focus on these things here, until we start focusing on these things here, it'll never get better. It's going to continue to get worse. And what I'm telling you is this, is that we are in a world today, unfortunately, it is going to get worse. This whole issue of mental health, for a lot of these people, we're going to start hearing more and more cases. People that you thought were on kilter or whatever, you thought they were straight or whatever. Next thing you know, out of here. Next thing you know, they done did something. And it's like, dang, I would have never imagined. He was such a good person, and always had a smile on his face. But so did Jack Nicholson in that movie too. That one Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. You know what I'm saying? So we got to start paying attention to this, and that's what we're trying to do on this platform, is to get people to start paying attention to these things seriously enough to do something about it. Okay, that's what all of this was about. So I hope you got something out of this. Like I said, I know this video was extra long today, but I really wanted to take the time to make sure that people begin to see this, that what we're talking about, it's all on video. We asked for these videos, and it's actually out there now. And now when you look at these videos, you can see for yourself, dang, it is crazy out here. I need to make some adjustments so I don't end up like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's true. That's something for all of us to do. All right. So that's it. That's all I have for you. As always, thank you so much for tuning in to this broadcast. Hey, you guys take care, and I hope you have enjoy the rest of your day. Okay. Take care now.